Trump's fucking tariffs got shut down by the Supreme Court. Oh my goodness. I didn't mean to bagel him. You're good. Don't worry. I've been meaning to do that for a while. I just kept forgetting. Where? What time did they fucking do this? Because I was at the fucking gym after work, and I look up at the TV in the gym, and it says tariffs blocked by demands refunds and anybody past marked due delinquent. Demanding refund Democrats. Friday release letter addressed to Trump 8 point. Hell yeah, dude. Ugh. Okay. AP New. He's such a fucking rat. Where is it? When did this happen? Dude, I go to work for one day. Ugh. The economy is gonna get something of a in the leave from this. Many Americans. Yeah, whatever. What time did this happen? Supreme Court tariff. If I can spell. This is crazy.
Wow. That's a lot of people. That's a new record. We set a record every
What's
time.
up, Sleepy?
Well, thank you very much for being here. The Supreme Court's ruling on tariffs is deeply disappointing,
Oh,
and I'm ashamed
oh,
of.
oh! Did your Supreme Court not vote for you because they realized that they're not going to be around, or you're not going to be around forever or much longer?
Certain members of the court absolutely ashamed for not having the courage to do what's right for our country. I'd like to thank and congratulate Justices Thomas, Alito, and Kavanaugh
I'm not
for
surprised,
their
Kavanaugh.
strength and wisdom and love of our country, which is right now very proud of those justices. When you read the dissenting opinions, there's no way that anyone can argue against them. There's no way. Foreign countries that have been ripping us off for years are ecstatic. They're so happy.
The thing
They're
about it
dancing in the streets, but they won't be dancing.
is that he's aged faster in 2 years than Lincoln in 8. Yeah, that's true. The thing about it is that the Supreme Court voting against this and him saying, oh, countries are ripping us off, I do truly believe that Trump thinks that tariffs are good for the economy.
For long, that I can assure you. The Democrats.
And tariffs on some products can be good. On everything? Oh my goodness. What are we talking about?
Are thrilled, but they will automatically vote no. They're an automatic no, just like in Congress. They're an automatic no. They're against anything that makes America strong, healthy, and great again. They also
His staff knows that tariffs are bad for the economy, by the way.
are a,
They don't benefit anything.
frankly, disgrace to our nation, those justices.
But it's something he ran on. God, dude. He looks
But
so
now I'm
angry.
going to go in a different direction. Probably the direction that I should have gone the first time, but I read the language. I'm very good at reading
There's a little bit of a spoiler.
language, and it read our way 100%, but now I'll go the way I could have gone originally, which is even stronger than our original choice. Therefore, effective immediately, all national security tariffs under Section 232 and existing Section 301 tariffs, they're existing, they're there, remain in place, fully in place, and in full force and effect. Today, I will sign an order to impose a 10% global tariff under Section 122.
10% global tariff. I mean, not as bad as what we had. 6-3 ruling, man. The court found that tariffs that Trump imposed under emergency power law were unconstitutional, including the sweeping reciprocal tariffs he levied on nearly every other country. Trump appointed 3 of the justices in the nation's highest court during his first term. And then short-term wins, tariffs, though, were first maybe, brought agenda stuff. Yeah, Clarence Thomas is such a fucking meat writer, dude. I'm not surprised that he, voted against or was in the dissenting. Brett Kavanaugh, that makes sense. Samuel Alito is honestly such an evil fucking piece of shit. And nobody talks about him enough, but he is such an evil piece of shit. The court majority did not address whether businesses could get refunded the billions they've collectively paid in tariffs. They won't. Many companies, including big box warehouse chain Costco, have already lined up in lower courts to demand refunds. They're not going to get these refunds. But, like, Costco's so pissed. Costco's not a great company, but they do not like the current administration. For real, this time when he inevitably runs for a third. Yeah, that's true. He's gonna make America great again for real this time in 2028. The tariffs decision doesn't stop Trump from imposing duties under other laws. Those have more limitations on the speed and severity of Trump's actions, but the president said they would still allow him to charge much more than he had before. The Republican president, constitutional gave Congress to levy tariffs. The Trump administration argued that a 1977 law allowing the president to regulation of importation during emergencies was allowed him to set import duties. Other presidents have used the law a dozen of times, often impose sanctions, but Trump was the first to invoke it for tariffs. In fact, that no president has ever found such power in IEEPA is strong evidence that it does not exist. Wow, Roberts and everybody. I'm trying to see. Yeah, businesses do not. I can imagine that there was a lot of top-down money pressing on the Supreme Court because it's so obvious that they get pressed on by like large company interests to cut off tariffs. But I think, especially Clarence Thomas, is just such a fucking loyalist, like dick sucker. Challenged, argue that emergency powers include one of the doomed then President Joe Biden $500 billion student loan forgiveness program. $500 billion, man, just to forgive some student loans would have been nothing to the U.S. economy. 3 conservative justices and the majority pointed to the principle, which is called the major questions doctrine, holds that Congress must clearly authorize actions of major economic and political significance. There was no exception to the major question doctrine in the emergency statuses. 3 liberal justices formed the rest of the majority, but didn't join the part of the opinion. The Trump admin argued that tariffs were different because they're a major part of Trump's approach to foreign affairs, an area where the courts should not be second-guessing the president. Illinois toy company learning resources were among the business challengers, tariffs in court. Somebody got to pay this bill. These people pay their bills are voters. Yep, that's true. There might be constraint in the future, both legal. Yeah. City expected Trump's tariffs, but hoped there might be more constraint in the future, both legal and political. She was doing a happy dance when she heard the news. Costing about $30,000 in the fall season. She was unsure what the Trump administration would accept. Time description might say goodbye to tariffs. That's pretty funny. I mean, 10% is nothing. Nothing to what it was. 20%? 10 to 20? From 20%?
The Supreme Court has struck down President Donald Trump's case, calling it one of the most important in U.S.
They're not woke, but is this the entire thing?
In particular by their decision today, and do you regret nominating them?
I don't want to say whether or not I regret. I think their decision was terrible. Yeah.
Yeah, fuck you. Fuck you. Senator Murkowski calls Supreme Court ruling a reminder of limits on presidential power.
Grocery prices are better. are down. Affordability is a big
Gas prices are down, dog. They're down because the economy's about to implode.
issue, and better grocery prices are
No, they're not. They've actually gotten worse.
better. Gas prices.
And I didn't notice the grocery prices getting worse until recently. Like, they jumped recently. And I was like, what the fuck? Oh my god. To buy like one fucking drink, it was like $30,000 trillion more than the other alternative like 2 years ago.
Affordability is a big issue, and
God, they literally just smoke so much fucking copium.
everything is more affordable since President Trump has been in office.
God, so much copium.
And we're all making a little more money, I think. The economy.
No, we're not. Actually, wages have gone down compared to the inflation rate. And the value of the dollar. The decreasing value of the dollar means our wages have gone down compared to the cost of everything else. Going up. Grocery prices chart. And actually, grocery prices are the lowest they've been in a while. Oh, well, this is gas. Is this gas? Yeah, this is gas. Can I see? Oh, interesting. I've never seen this graph before. Yep, grocery prices are at $4.10. Here's COVID, $3.27, and then the artificial, and I want everybody here to know that this artificial, what's up, Alina? This artificial spike was the choice of manufacturing companies and grocery companies. They chose to. They did not need to make groceries this expensive. They could blame it on inflation. I wish I could see a chart going back to like the 90s and the 80s and the 90s. Groceries used to be far, far, far more expensive than they used to be now. We have never had groceries this cheap before, even though they're really expensive. The big issue is housing and rent. But yeah, they're definitely not going down. But no. Everything has been on an uptrend for a while. Oof, yeah, even like gas, utility. Max. Fissure. Oh my god, fuck off. 10 years. What am I even looking at? Food inflation. It actually deflated in 2016. I'm not surprised by that. Can I see grocery average prices? And groceries are one of those on Husking Market Cap. Yeah, I agree. Last 40 years. Can I see percentage of increase or decrease in food prices 12-month? So let's do January 2.1%, 2.5%, but I'm trying to see like a baseline. I wish there was a baseline that I could like take a look at, like dollar per dollar. The thing about it is that grocery prices are really kind of hard thing to because not everyone's groceries are the same, but I want to see like how much a carton of eggs was like 20 years or 30 years ago. Yeah, I mean, this is 1930. Curious grocery shopping. Here's the comparative list. Show how purchasing power $20. Does this adjust for inflation? I'm assuming this adjusts for inflation. But like, let's take a look at like 1990, $102. Not finalized. I'm okay, whatever. This is getting off point anyways. Tariffs. is what we're talking about. Business owner says Supreme Court tariff decision might have little effect on his company. Chief COO manufactures aluminum. So the Supreme Court probably won't change a huge amount of day to day here because we source most of our stuff domestically. Yeah, I mean, if you're sourcing it domestically, of course it's not going to fucking change your. Farmers really need there to be a removal of these tariffs. Our farmers are genuinely. I think if you farm, you shouldn't you should work for the government. The government should own your land, and they should pay you enough money to take a vacation for the entire off season. I'm just saying. Farming is a hard job that is essential to the life of every human on earth. We recognize and respect the globe. Yeah. This is funny. Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker demanding a refund. Letter addressed to Trump with an attached invoice of $8.68 billion. Whose eye to 2028 presidential contender is repeatedly sparred with the president this morning. Your handpicked Supreme Court justices justify they are also unconstitutional. Oh, Jesus. Failure to pay will elicit further action. That's gonna do nothing. It is really funny to me though. I read that as husking market cap. I definitely know you meant to write housing market cap. I just realized that. And I read that I said husking market cap, but in my head I heard housing. Brazil celebrates US Supreme Court decision. That's good. Didn't go very excited after the hearing. So far, I've cost her women apparel business about $1 million. Is 100% of garners come from China. I don't know what to do now with another 10%. I'm going to be forced to. Never trust anything that comes out of Argentina, the country's mouth, ever again. By the way. Okay, so steel doesn't change. Bessett says alternative tariff plan will lead to virtually unchanged tariff revenue in 2026. And the government doesn't really get any of this fucking money, by the way. None of this money goes directly towards the government. This extra, it just is a requirement, a minimum you have to sell your product for in the US. So those companies are like, okay, I'll sell this product for $5. US government says, no, you need to sell it for $7. Okay, I'll sell it for $7. The company that's importing it will buy it for $7 and then sell it to you for $14 rather than the $10 that they would have at the $5 import fee or importing amount.
Their strength and wisdom and great again. They also are a, frankly, disgrace to our nation, those justices. Others think they're being politically correct, which has happened before far too often with certain members of this court, and it's happened so often with this court. What a shame. Having to do with voting.
I'm not paying taxes this year to protest and flex the next shutdown. That's actually really... Dude, imagine not paying taxes and then the government shuts down so the IRS can't even pursue you for it.
In particular, when in fact they're just being fools and lapdogs for the rhinos and the radical left Democrats, and not that this should have anything at all to do with it. They're very unpatriotic and disloyal to our Constitution.
God, dude, it's just Nazi shit.
Justices Gorsuch and Barrett, are you surprised in particular by their decision?
think it's an embarrassment to their families. God, he's so upset. It's gonna take like months. If tariffs stay off the table for like a while, things will come back to somewhat normal. But the thing about it is, it's going to take a really, really, really long time for things to return to that point. And also, it's gonna take decades at this point to undo the damage that Trump did. It's gonna take decades. I want to see. As a matter of policy, the empty merits of sweeping trade wars with American friends were evident long before today's decision. But a matter of constitutional authority, there is no room for doubt. The use of IEPA to circumvent Congress imposing tariffs without precedent is also illegal. Wow, Mitch McConnell said that. I'm surprised that Mitch McConnell said that. If the executive like to enact trade policies that impact American producers and consumers, convince the representatives under Article 1. Other senators also chimed in approvingly. All right. Approvingly after the court's decision. The last administration didn't even try to... Yeah, dude. Oh, my God. The Biden administration, like, was so fucking weak. They did some good stuff for workers, especially... I mean, Biden was, like, a pro-worker guy. To be fair, who would have guessed he came back? Me! Well, I wasn't streaming then, but I was telling people, like, if Trump doesn't fucking... If we don't deal with the Trump issue, Merrick Garland, arrest him! You have the legal authority to arrest him! Lawmakers react to Supreme Court. Ooh.
The Supreme Court struck down President Donald Trump's global tariffs in a 6-3 decision on Friday, handing him a stinging loss on an issue crucial to his economic agenda. In the ruling, the majority found that it's unconstitutional for the president to unilaterally set and change tariffs because taxation
He looks so shit in this suit, by the way.
power belongs to Congress. Soon enough, reaction quickly poured in from
Jesus. All these getting changed to 10%.
both sides of the political aisle.
He's jerking
Republican
off.
Senator Mitch McConnell said in a statement, the empty merits of sweeping trade wars with
Yeah, we already
America's
saw
friends
this.
was evident. Susan Collins of Maine also chimed in decision. Others also chimed in approvingly, including Republican Senators Susan Collins of Maine and
Fuck you, Susan
John
Collins.
Curtis of Utah.
Fuck you, John Curtis.
House Speaker Mike Johnson backed Trump's use of tariffs, saying they had brought in billions of dollars and created immense leverage for America.
Pulling at M. Bison, yeah, that's true. Dude, the thing about it is that the American government got zero money from tariffs.
America's trade strategy. Senate Democratic leader
Tariffs are not a tax.
Chuck Schumer said the ruling will finally give families and small businesses the relief they deserve.
It'll give small relief. But big companies and big stores will not be bringing their prices down after this. Smaller stores will. Big companies, remember, will not bringing their prices down because they artificially increase them anything. Did you see you saw the Dow though? No, I have not. I'll take a look at the Dow in a second. But large companies will artificially increase their prices or keep them at the same level and then say any excuse. They already did this last year.
The court's decision did not address
Inside traders
whether
are sure
businesses
happy.
could get refunded for the billions they have collectively paid in tariffs.
Evil man, dude. I can't wait for Clarence Thomas to die. Genuinely. He's on the way out.
U.S. Senator Maria Cantwell, a Democrat from Washington State, is asking Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent for a plan to be made.
You said check the Dow? Dow. Oh, wow. Wow. Yeah, they're happy. Man, that was a sharp decline. Got 700 almost points. Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, obviously. Everything's on the up. I mean, I don't like looking at one-day trends because it doesn't really signal anything, but like this little dip and then go. We'll see. We will see. I'll definitely have to keep or update myself on some more economics related to the tariffs, but the big thing is the Supreme Court putting their foot down on Trump. Huge fucking move. very good signal that the established Republicans by Trump are not as loyal as I was worried they would be. They are, and it's not good, but this is a good sign. This is very, very, very good for us. God, he looks so pissed. Trump in governor breakfast. I'm pretty sure he was like complaining. Tweet about me. I just pray for him. Yeah. Trump governor breakfast reacts to tariffs. Yep. Okay. Well, there was something I saw earlier that Trump was like fucking whining and crying about the tariffs during the governor breakfast. It was saying, fuck these assholes. Fuck this. Fuck these goddamn Supreme Court justices. It makes me very happy. It makes me happy to see that the Supreme Court is not like on Trump's dick as much as I was worried they would be. All right, see you later, Slug.